Do you believe a movie that failed at the box office became a symbol of office culture for more than 2 decades? Office Space, 1999, not only made millions of people laugh with TPS reports, annoying bosses, and the printer everyone wanted to smash, but also created iconic symbols so famous that they changed the real world. But behind the movie are countless behind-the-scenes stories, even stranger than what appeared on screen. Actors who were almost cast. Jennifer Aniston, with too many pieces of Flair, the red stapler that had never existed. Today, let's explore 12 weird facts about Office Space. And do not leave before the final fact, because it is the secret that almost turned this movie into a completely different film. How many of these 12 weird facts do you think you already knew? Leave a comment below. Number 12. Mike Judge hated the poster because it looked like an Office Depot ad. Remember the original Office Space poster, with the guy completely covered in sticky notes? Mike Judge took one look at it and said it looked like an Office Depot ad designed by someone who had never laughed. And he was not wrong. The slogan, "Work sucks," did not help either. It was about as subtle as one of Lumbergh's memos and completely missed the movie's dry satire. To promote the film, Fox even placed a man inside a plexiglass cubicle in the middle of Times Square for 5 days. The irony was hard to miss. They promoted a movie that mocked office life by recreating the suffocating feeling of office work right in the middle of Midtown Manhattan. After the movie failed at the box office, Judge finally got a chance to fix it for the DVD release. He convinced Fox to redesign the cover, quietly placing Milton peeking out behind the man covered in sticky notes, still holding his red stapler. That one small change completely transformed the message of the cover. Fans immediately noticed the detail, and this time the artwork finally captured the true spirit of Office Space.
Boy, I tell you, some days, one of these days it's just gonna be like...
So can I get you gentlemen something more to drink, or maybe something to nibble on? Some pizza shooters, shrimp poppers, or extreme fajitas?
Just coffee.
Okay. Sounds like a case of the Mondays.
In a way, Milton ended up being more valuable in promoting the movie than he ever was as an employee at Initech, which somehow feels perfectly fitting. Number 11. The red stapler that fans brought to life. In the middle of a movie filled with gray office cubicles, there was one bright red detail that no one could forget. Milton's stapler was originally just a prop created specifically for the movie, but it eventually became the beginning of one of the strangest merchandise stories in Hollywood.
Oh, there it is.
What?
Here, let me just go ahead and get that from you. Great.
The interesting part is that it had never existed in real life. Because Swingline did not make a red model 747 stapler, the prop department simply took a black one, painted it red, and placed it on Milton's desk to make it stand out. No one expected that prop to become the movie's most iconic symbol. Even more surprising, after Office Space failed at the box office, it came back to life through DVD sales and cable television. Fans kept asking Swingline the same question: where can I buy that red stapler? While eBay filled up with homemade painted versions, the company finally decided to give fans what they wanted. In April 2002, 3 years after the movie was released, Swingline officially introduced the 747 Rio Red. The stapler quickly became one of the company's best-selling products. Sometimes, a movie that fails at the box office can still create a real-life legend. Number 10. PC load letter was a real error, and that reaction was completely instinctive. One of the most relatable lines in Office Space was never in the script. When the haunted printer displayed the message PC load letter, David Herman reacted exactly the way any office worker would. Completely confused, then instantly furious. The interesting part is that the confusing error message was completely real. Hewlett-Packard actually programmed some of its printers to display PC load letter, as if office workers did not already have enough reasons to want to smash everything. The line, PC load letter, what the hell does that mean, was not acting. The printer actually malfunctioned during filming, and Herman's frustration was so genuine and so universal that Mike Judge knew he had captured the perfect comedic moment. It was the feeling of anyone who has ever struggled with a printer at 4:45 on a Friday afternoon, with only one page left to print before going home. Even today, technology forums still mention PC load letter whenever a device malfunctions. Maybe that is because printers always seem to run on resentment, toner, and the tears of people who only need to print one last page. Number 9. Fox once wanted an Oscar-winning star to play the man who had stopped caring about everything. Hollywood loves irony, so naturally Fox wanted Matt Damon or Ben Affleck from Good Will Hunting to star in a movie about hating your job and giving up on ambition.
Do you like apples?
Yeah.
Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples?
After Good Will Hunting became a massive hit in late 1997, Fox wanted Matt Damon or Ben Affleck to play the lead in Office Space, a movie about an office worker who hates his job and gives up on all ambition. But Mike Judge disagreed. He wanted someone who looked completely ordinary. Ron Livingston impressed him with his naturally tired and fed-up appearance. He looked exactly like someone who had accepted the mediocrity of life. Damon, on the other hand, still looked too much like Good Will Hunting to play Peter. The casting process was not over yet. Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn both auditioned for the role of Lawrence before Diedrich Bader landed the part with his mullet hairstyle and his philosophy of dating two women at the same time.
I think if I were a millionaire, I could hook that up too, because chicks dig dudes with money.
Well, not all chicks.
Well, the type of chicks that double up on a dude like me do.
Good point.
Well, what about you now? What would you do?
Besides two chicks at the same time?
Well, yeah.
There were rumors that Kate Hudson auditioned for Joanna, while Artie Lang auditioned for Milton. In the end, Jennifer Aniston, who was becoming famous because of Friends, was cast, giving Fox the star they wanted. Meanwhile, Stephen Root's talent for mumbling was almost impossible to replace.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I do. I do want to express myself. Okay? And I don't need 37 pieces of Flair to do it. All right? There's my Flair, okay? And this is me expressing myself, okay? There it is.
Looking back, choosing Ron Livingston instead of a superstar turned out to be the most Office Space decision of all. Quiet, unglamorous, but absolutely right. Judge expanded the story from one burned-out employee into an entire office full of people exhausted by their jobs, while still keeping Milton and Lumbergh as the soul of the movie. And from that point on, being moved to a different desk became one of the most famous office nightmares ever put on screen. Number 8. The waiter with too many pieces of Flair sued Fox and still lost. Remember Brian, the overly enthusiastic waiter at Tchotchke's, the guy who made Joanna feel guilty for not wearing enough pieces of Flair to express herself, right?
Well, like Brian, for example, has 37 pieces of Flair on today, okay? A terrific smile.
You want me to wear 37 pieces of Flair like you're a pretty boy over there, Brian?
Todd Duffy loved the role until 2007. That year, Fox released the Office Space box of Flair, which included a satirical book and 15 real pieces of Flair. What upset Duffy was that his face appeared on the cover of the book and on one of the pieces of Flair, even though he claimed he had never given the studio permission to use his likeness that way to sell merchandise. So he sued Fox under the Lanham Act, but the court disagreed. The greatest irony was hidden in his own contract. Under the standard agreement for actors with small roles, Duffy had granted the studio all rights to his performance throughout the universe. That is right, throughout the universe. Not just on Earth, not just in this dimension, but across every parallel reality and every possible future. Maybe somewhere in the multiverse, there is still a Brian enthusiastically telling everyone to wear more pieces of Flair. The judge ruled that the clause was completely clear, meaning Duffy had signed away all of his rights. The lawsuit was officially dismissed in 2014. It was a fitting irony that the actor who played the symbol of blind workplace enthusiasm was defeated by one of the most corporate contract clauses imaginable. Number 7. The studio watched the dailies and thought the movie was too sleepy. Almost every classic has had an executive ask, "Why aren't people laughing more?" Office Space was no exception. During filming, Fox executives kept sending notes to Mike Judge, demanding that the movie have more energy and a faster pace. They did not realize that the dullness itself was the joke. It was like telling a librarian to turn up the smoke machine. They also wanted Ron Livingston to lose weight and look more like a Hollywood leading man. Apparently, even an office worker who sits in front of spreadsheets all day had to have six-pack abs, but Judge refused. He wanted Peter Gibbons to look like someone quietly contemplating the meaninglessness of life while pretending to update a spreadsheet. When they watched Gary Cole's slow performance as Bill Lumbergh, the executives became even more worried.
So, Peter, what's happening? Now, are you going to go ahead and have those TPS reports for us this afternoon?
No.
Yeah.
They thought he was ruining the movie by dragging out every vowel. Meanwhile, Judge understood that the monotone voice was exactly what created one of the scariest bosses on screen. The gap between the two sides grew wider and wider. The studio wanted a Jim Carrey with the energy of Ace Ventura in an office, while Judge was making a movie about existential despair, mixed with a little hypnosis. The two sides were almost thinking of two completely different genres. Not only that, Fox also objected to the use of Geto Boys music, until the audience at the test screening actually loved it. In the end, the studio promoted Office Space as a normal office comedy, completely missing the spirit of the work. As a result, the movie failed at the box office, like a computer freezing right when you are about to submit a report. Number 6. Geto Boys turned workplace rage into poetry. Every generation has a song that represents its frustration. For office workers in 1999, surprisingly, it was gangster rap from Geto Boys. Mike Judge was determined to keep those songs in Office Space, even though Fox executives believed they did not belong in a movie about software engineers. Judge asked for one more test screening and promised to remove the music if the audience did not like it. But the opposite happened. A 19-year-old audience member said, "That's what makes it cool. These white nerds paired with this angry music." That single comment saved the entire scene. The Geto Boys soundtrack stayed, and the printer smashing scene suddenly became iconic. Geto Boys, made up of Willie D, Scarface, and Bushwick Bill, ultimately became the heartbeat of the entire movie. Willie D later said he loved that scene because it felt like an act of rebellion against the whole system, exactly the spirit the song was meant to convey. And just like that, the line, "Damn, it feels good to be a gangster," seemed to take on a new meaning. Damn, it feels good to destroy office equipment. Many companies later tried to recreate the printer smashing scene in team-building videos, but the result was about as effective as using a fax machine in 2025. The original scene, however, remains one of the most memorable moments of emotional release in cinema, even more than 25 years later. Number 5. Milton started out as nothing more than a doodle on Mike Judge's own desk. Before Office Space was made, Milton Wadhams was just a character Mike Judge created to vent his frustrations about office life. The inspiration came from a real-life coworker who constantly complained because his desk kept being moved over and over again. It may sound like a small thing, but those little everyday frustrations became the foundation for the entire workplace satire of Office Space. Judge introduced Milton in a series of animated shorts, and the character quickly gained attention on MTV's Liquid Television in the early 1990s. It was also the show that introduced Aeon Flux and proved that animation was not just for entertainment, it could also make viewers feel deeply uncomfortable.
Excuse me, sir. I'm going to transfer you to accounts payable, okay?
Well, no. Well, but I'm gonna... Okay.
The series followed Milton, a mild-mannered employee who was constantly pushed around by his bosses, along with the earliest version of Bill Lumbergh, whose monotone voice was enough to send a chill down the spine of anyone who had ever worked in an office.
Oh, and if you could just kind of go over those AIU DCP files at home tonight, that would be great. Okay? Well, thanks a bunch, Milton. Bye-bye. But
These animated shorts gradually became fan favorites, appearing on both Liquid Television and Saturday Night Live. Eventually, Fox recognized their potential and invited Mike Judge to develop them into a feature film. Number 4. Comedy Central turned Office Space into a phenomenon before the word viral even existed. When Office Space was released in theaters in February 1999, almost nobody paid attention to it. That is not an exaggeration. Made with a budget of about $10 million, the movie earned only $12.2 million worldwide, just enough to break even, and nowhere near what Fox had hoped for, as the studio was looking for the next Austin Powers. Fox was waiting for the line, "Yeah, baby," but what they got instead was, "Yeah, I'm going to need you to come in on Saturday." Still memorable, just in a completely different way. Then the movie found a second life, or more accurately, an incredible comeback. VHS, DVD, and constant airings on Comedy Central turned a box office disappointment into a cultural phenomenon. In August 2001, the channel aired the movie for the first time to 1.4 million viewers, then broadcast it 35 more times before 2003. That was when Office Space became the office worker's Bible. Suddenly, everyone knew about TPS reports. Everyone understood a case of the Mondays, and everyone wanted to own the red stapler. The movie gradually became the shared language of workplace misery. It showed up in conversations around the water cooler, during lunch breaks, and on the laptop of at least one coworker in every office. Ironically, a movie about lazy office workers only became a classic after spending years doing nothing except being shown over and over again on cable television. Now, let's take a short break. If you are enjoying this journey through workplace rebellion, do not forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments which Office Space quote is your favorite. Unlike your boss, we really will pay attention to what you have to say. Number 3. David Herman's girlfriend accidentally created the famous insult, "No talent ass clown." Very few movie insults have had the staying power of "no talent ass clown." The interesting part is that the line was never in the script. Originally, Michael Bolton's character was written to deliver an insult aimed directly at the real-life singer, Michael Bolton, a choice that could have caused legal problems for the production. So David Herman asked his girlfriend for a suggestion. She casually blurted out, "No talent ass clown." No one expected that off-the-cuff remark to become one of the movie's most famous improvised insults.
You know, there's nothing wrong with that name.
There was nothing wrong with it until I was about 12 years old, and that no talent ass clown became famous and started winning Grammys.
Mike Judge immediately loved it. In his opinion, the line was silly, strangely funny, and safe enough to avoid getting anyone sued. Almost the perfect formula for an insult on screen. At first, the real Michael Bolton was not amused. In 2003, he said that people repeated the line to him everywhere, at airports, in supermarkets, and even at his concerts. But about 10 years later, he had become much more relaxed about it. He started signing DVDs with the message, "The Real Michael Bolton," and even parodied that very scene in a Funny or Die sketch. In the end, No Talent Ass Clown outlasted Office Space's entire theatrical run. By 2019, the phrase had even been added to the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Not bad for an offhand remark from someone who never even set foot on the movie set. Number 2. Jennifer Aniston wore more pieces of Flair because the studio wanted more. Jennifer. Ron Livingston was the lead, but Fox still wanted a name that could sell movie posters. So the studio quickly cast Jennifer Aniston, the biggest sitcom star on the planet, even though Joanna's role was originally smaller than Milton's chances of ever getting credit for anything. In 1999, Friends was at the height of its success, and it turned Aniston into a global star. The show seemed unstoppable, while also convincing America that working in a coffee shop was enough to afford an apartment in Manhattan.
Are we ready to order?
Oh, you know what? We haven't even looked yet.
Well, when you do, just let me know. I'll be right over there on the edge of my seat.
Wow, look at these prices. Yeah, these are pretty cha-ching.
That made her the marketing department's dream, even though her role in Office Space was originally quite small. To justify her salary, Fox asked Mike Judge to expand Joanna's storyline. That decision accidentally created the storyline about the pieces of Flair at tchotchkes, which later became one of the movie's most iconic elements and a nightmare for many people working in the service industry. The result was a manager obsessed with pieces of Flair and a scene that still feels painfully familiar to many retail workers. Aniston filmed for only about 2 weeks, fitting the shoot in between her friend's schedule, like someone hurriedly adding volunteer work to a resume just minutes before a job interview. But every scene she filmed paid off. The chemistry between Aniston and Ron Livingston felt completely natural. Joanna's exhaustion and frustration were also so believable that it felt as if she had actually just finished a shift at TGI Fridays and simply brought that experience straight onto the screen. Number 1. Lumbergh's angry scene was cut so he could remain a machine. Somewhere in the archives, there is still a scene of Bill Lumbergh losing his temper, and it is every bit as strange as you would imagine, like watching Mr. Rogers swear. The scene shows Lumbergh's Porsche being towed away after Peter takes his parking space. For the first time in the movie, the boss, who is always calm, completely loses it. Gary Cole delivers a convincing outburst, yelling and helplessly watching his car, the symbol of his status, being towed away. It was probably the most genuine emotion the character had shown since 1987. But when Mike Judge watched the footage, he immediately felt that something was wrong. In his opinion, Lumbergh was not supposed to have emotions. The entire power of the character came from his flat, lifeless voice that never changed.
I'd like to go ahead and welcome a new member to our team here. This is Bob Slidell. Yeah.
That voice was what gave viewers chills and made them feel their spirits slowly being drained away. So Judge decided to remove the entire angry scene. In the final cut, the audience only sees the Porsche being towed away in the background, while Peter, Michael, and Samir remain cheerful, completely unaware that they have just ruined the thing their boss valued most. Gary Cole later admitted that he was relieved by that decision. If Lumbergh had lost his temper, he would have become too much like a real person, and the entire concept of the character would have been lost. The fact that he remained calm even as his Porsche, almost his only companion, was being towed away made Lumbergh far more frightening, funny, and unforgettable. So there you have it, 12 weird facts about Office Space, 1999. A movie that was not highly regarded when it was first released but later became a symbol of office culture. Out of all the secrets we explored, which one surprised you the most? Was it the legendary red stapler, the little-known behind-the-scenes stories, or the bold decisions that helped shape the movie's success? Let us know your answer in the comments below. If you enjoy behind-the-scenes stories, forgotten secrets, and fascinating facts about classic Hollywood movies, do not forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you can join us for more videos. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Have a wonderful day, and remember, if your boss brings up TPS reports again, it might be time to check whether your printer is still working. See you next time.